Hi, today I want to talk about a concept called humanizing your mentors. When I say that you should humanize your mentors, what I'm saying is that when you look up to people, when they know more than you, and when you're in a working relationship with them where you're learning, I want you to look for their flaws. I want you to look for what makes them human. I want you to look for when they screw things up. I want you to look for their stress. I want you to look for when they are trying to produce for their clients or their boss, and when they have stress over not being able to, or when they fail. I want you to look at their personal lives. I want you to look at the things that don't go right. I want you to look at when they feel lonely or discouraged. Because when people fail, it makes them human. And when you see others as human, it makes it easier for you to say, hey, they have the same problems as me. They are on my level. And as a result of them being on my level, I can accomplish everything that they can accomplish. A defense and coping mechanism that a lot of people come up with to deal with the fact that they are over here in their life and somebody else, maybe the same age, same education, and same background is over here, is they will just say, oh, that person's a next level genius. They're just on another level. And that really just dismisses the truth. The truth is that that person is a regular human being just like you, who may have just so happened to learn something that you didn't, and that allowed them to get ahead in life. Or they may have just tried more at something. It's easier to just dismiss all their success by saying, oh, well, they're just on another level, that's why they're there and I'm here. But it allows the average person to feel good about the fact that they have not accomplished what this mentor or this boss or this employer has. So one of the things I'm encouraging you to do is look at other people like they're human. And the easiest way to look at other people like they're human is to look for the flaws, because flaws are what make us human. Failure is what makes us human. I'm not saying that you should root for people to fail. That's not what I'm saying. Nor am I suggesting that you disrespect your mentors, because you shouldn't. What I'm saying is that you should look for the failure, you should look for the stress, you should look for the humanity in these people that exists. It does. There are no human beings out there that don't fail. There are no human beings out there that do not feel stress at times in their lives. And there are no people, regardless of how smart they are, that on occasion just can't figure something out. And I want you to find that. I want you to look for that. I can tell you that the most encouraging thing to me above all else is when I see that somebody who's incredibly intelligent cannot solve a problem that I can. And it's not because I'm smarter than them. A lot of the times I'm much dumber than the people where I'm solving an issue that they can't. But when I see that somebody else is struggling with an issue, this really puts off a light bulb in my brain. It's not because I think I'm better than them. It's not because this means that I'm a genius or that I've won. It's nothing like that. It's none of that silly nonsense. What it is it's the realization that that person is like me. And if that person who's accomplished so much more is just like me, then that means that everything that they've accomplished is something that I can accomplish as well for myself. And that's something that's very, very encouraging. Why am I getting calls from 800 numbers at 3 in the morning? Motherfuckers. Anyway, point is, and I didn't really notice this until I was a mid-late teenager, and I was working for somebody who was on just again, he knew a lot more than I did. He had accomplished a lot more with his life than I did, and he just learned everything on his own. He didn't go to college. He barely did well in high school, and he was really, really good at what he did. And I just had him on this, he was good as a recording engineer. He was amazing as a technician. You're not going to find a lot of people out there who are as equally versed in, recording platinum records as they are in finding short circuits in consoles that cause crosstalk on the different buses. That's just a multi-talented human being. And the first time that I ever saw him as a human being, I remember, was when one of the other technicians and I had to go up to talk to him or get some tools or something from the top floor office, and we saw him just sitting, leaning over the console, just kind of sad. And he was talking to somebody on MySpace or something, and it was a client that he had been recording who was a late teens, early 20s. He was in his 40s or early 50s. And he was like, this woman I think actually wants to go out with me. And he didn't really know if he was just seeing it or if it was actually there. And he just seemed 1 or 2 in the morning, terribly lonely, terribly confused, like he just didn't know what to do. And I'm not saying that I was happy at the fact that he didn't know what to do. I'm not saying that I was happy at the fact that he seemed confused or lonely or sad, because that's just a sick thing to think. But what I was happy about was the fact that he was a person. He was a human just like me. He wasn't a robot. He wasn't somebody who just, mechanically he wasn't a robot. He wasn't somebody where he wanted to do something, you just push a button and it happens. He was a person. He had feelings. He could fail. He could feel lonely and inadequate at 1 or 2 in the morning when he just fails at dealing with the opposite sex or anybody else in the human species. And then there was another day where he had talked up the owner of this place and how he was going to make this headphone system that was way better than the crap that they were using, and he was going to build it himself. And he was similar to how I am now. He was the one who taught me this whole idea that you can learn anything that you put your mind to. It doesn't have to be from college, as long as you want to learn it, that the buck stops with you. If you want to do something and you say that you're going to do something, that one way or another you're going to do it. So when he says, I can create a headphone system that's better than what this company that's had hundreds of thousands of dollars and 10 or 20 years in time to do it has made, he put himself to it. And so the owner said, you know what, sure, fine. Like he took him up on his challenge. Instead of just listening to him say that this thing sucks, he actually gave him the money to do it. So, $10, $20, or $30,000 later, he didn't really produce a working system yet. So I was there at 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, watching him try to figure out why a function on it doesn't work, just confused out of his mind as to why this one little thing isn't working, and he just couldn't figure it out. I wasn't happy that he failed. Trust me, I wanted to see him succeed. I really did. But the thing that made me happy about seeing him fail was that he has to figure things out just like I do. His brain doesn't just magically come up with a solution to every problem. He actually has to think. He has to do brain work to figure out problems. And if he fails at figuring things out just the same way that I do, that means that he's the same that I am. He's a human just like me. He fails just like me, which means I can figure things out and I can become successful just like him. And it encouraged me to try to move forward with my life, to try to take the skill set that I had and take it to the next level, to take that skill set with me that I had at the next level and take it to other facilities where I could make good money doing what I did. And I did, and I built a life for myself around the idea that I can learn from other people, even if they are much smarter than I am and seem like they've accomplished so much more than I have, that's not going to limit my success. Instead of distancing myself from other people because they are so far ahead of me as a coping mechanism so that I don't feel bad when I look at what they accomplished, rather I look for how they fail. I am telling you, there are times when I have literally woken up at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning because I got a notification on some forum that somebody wasn't able to figure out something, and I look at this post and it's like, wait, you can't figure this out? Because I figured this out before, and I actually ride my bike to work at 3 or 4 in the morning saying, oh, if he couldn't figure this issue out, I'm definitely going to figure this issue out. And by 4 or 5 in the morning, I've actually figured out a board issue that 3 other places weren't able to figure out, and now it's in the storage bank for next time. Because when I see that somebody who's very intelligent can solve something that I've solved, it builds my confidence. And my confidence is what I need to learn something when I'm in the unstructured environment of trying to reverse engineer other people's work, when I'm trying to learn something that there is no guide for. I need that self-confidence. I need that boost that comes from knowing that these other people who have accomplished so much with their lives, these other people who've done so much and contributed so much to the world, are people just like me, who fail just like me, who don't know the answers to questions just like me, who feel lonely sometimes at 1 or 2 in the morning when things just don't go right for them the same way that I do. And that's what this channel is about. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there are so many comments lately that I'm getting where it's like, wow, you're a genius. Wow, I hope to be as good at fixing stuff as you one day. Wow, you're just amazing, and I don't know how I'm ever going to catch up. And it's like, fuckers, I mean, are you even watching the content that's posted here? Again, I appreciate the compliments, I really do, but do you really think I'm a genius? I mean, when I have a screwdriver right in front of me and I can't find it, do you think I'm a genius? When I let the chip drop onto the board not once but twice over the course of a video, do you think I'm a genius? When I solder that chip onto the board that costs $50 on a board that costs $600 and it's not even aligned and it's on camera that it's not aligned, do you think I'm a genius? Like, I'm not. When I'm breaking, the webcam, and I'm not even editing this out of the video, when I break the webcam and I have to solder a capacitor or a resistor back on at 2 in the morning, do you think I'm a genius? Because this is something that a lot of people who have a lot less experience than I do have been able to do properly. Then there come the trolls. There are a lot of messages that don't make its way onto the YouTube comments because a lot of these people are usually spineless, which is why they have to do this stuff over private message, where they'll say things like, you are an idiot. Look at what you messed up. You are an idiot. Wow, you think you're professional when your desk looks like this? Wow, you're using the wrong tool to do this. Oh, there's a way to do this where you save 10 or 15 minutes. You're an idiot for doing it that way. You're a jackass. Why do we even post these? And again, if that's your standpoint, then you're missing the point of this channel. The point of this channel is not to show you that I'm some genius who does everything perfectly. If you want to see people who are afraid to fail, if you want to see people who are afraid to humanize themselves, all you need to do is search on YouTube for hyper-edited videos at 10 or 20x where people remove the adhesive from the glass before they even do the take of removing the glass. All you need to do is look for these videos where they hide everything, where they edit out all the mistakes, where they edit out all the crap, where they do 5 or 10 or 20 takes to get one that looks decent. Because what they lack the confidence to show you that they're a regular person just like you, that screws up just like you, that has to figure things out just like you, which is why they have to do videos in that professional fashion. That's not the point of this channel. The point of this channel is to humanize the business, to humanize the industry, to humanize the process so that you can realize that even people who have accomplished a lot with their life, even people, again, I'm not to prop myself up, but even people who make good, legitimate money doing this in an honest fashion, who are able to create and sustain a business that provides a proper living for half a dozen people, fucks up, has to learn, screws up, does silly crap, has a messy desk. If you look at these videos and you see that somebody who's been doing this professionally and making a living for 17 years screws up just like you, are you not more encouraged? Do you not feel better? Do you not feel like, well, if this guy who knows what he's doing screws up the same way I do, maybe I have the capability to get there. Is that not what you're thinking? Because that's the point of this channel. The point is for you to develop a confidence in yourself. I want you to look at what I do and say, I can do just what he does. Wow, he let the chip drop on the board. Oh my God, I have to be able to do this. I want you to look at what I do and think to yourself, I can do better. I can do better than him. I can accomplish more than him. I'm going to accomplish more than him, and I'm going to show the world how amazing I am. If this guy can do it, so can I. And I don't want you to be doing it in a degrading fashion. You don't have to put me down to do this. All I want you to do is see that I'm a human just like you, who has needs just like I want you to see that I'm a human just like you, who screws up just like you, who has uncertainty and stress in his life at times just like you. Because if you see me as a human, it's that much easier for you to have the confidence to accomplish what you want to accomplish and what you set out to do. The MacBook Air screen video was a good example of this. That was my first MacBook Air. That was not the second, the fourth, the 10th, the 30th. That was the first take that I did on the first MacBook Air that I ever replaced the screen on. The regular tech was on vacation. I had to figure it out for somebody. And I was confident enough in the work that I did, even though I did the whole process completely ass backwards, to zoom in on the finished product and show you what the screen looked like so that you could see that it was good. The whole point of that video was after I saw a thread on iFixit, or as we like to call it here, I broke it, where everybody's talking about on a community forum that's sponsored by people who claim that they want to fix the world and empower people, this is impossible to fix. There is no replacing this. I tried and it's not possible. There were at least 9 posts in this thread on how this is just not possible. So I decided, not only is it possible, but it's possible enough that I, a moron, can figure this out on the first try, and I'm so confident that I can figure out how to do this in the first try, and how I can fix something that all of you are saying are unfixable, that I am going to camcord my first take of it and upload it to the internet. The point of that video was not to show perfection, was not to show that that is the end-all way to do it, was not to show that I'm a genius, was not to show that I'm better than you. If you think that was the point of the video, then you have clearly missed the point. If you think that the point of anything on this channel is to demonstrate perfection in doing things, is to hide all the flaws, is to hide all the mistakes, you are missing the point. The point is to humanize the process, to encourage you to do it. When somebody is showing you a hyper-edited video where they have done 20 or 30 takes and picked out the specific one that's best for each part of the process and done it like a robot where every single screw comes out properly, where every single piece just comes out and goes back together quickly and efficiently in a perfect fashion, how's that supposed to make you feel like when you're just starting out? Like, oh crap, this person just knows everything. I got to know everything to be able to do this. But when I show you it, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Let me try this. Oh, that don't work. Let me try. Oh, never mind. That doesn't work either. Okay. Here. I think this is working here. Now it works. When I do it in that fashion, you can see that I have to figure things out just like you. That I wasn't born with the world's knowledge base. That I actually have to figure things out just like you. And that is something that I want you to realize. You know, again, one of the Like one of the videos I did recently was about this, you know. For the entirety that I've had my business, I've had other people do BGA rework for me, whether I outsourced it to somebody else or whether I hired somebody whose sole job is to stand here all day and do BGA rework. BGA rework is just something that I didn't screw with. I'm a business owner. The fact that I am even doing board component level repairs at 2 or 4 in the morning instead of, you know, being a business owner and focusing on expanding my business is silly. But BGA rework, it's like, no. I will limit myself to doing circuit rework, not BGA rework. I will fly through circuit rework, but BGA rework, which is time-consuming pain in the ass, I'll give to somebody else. I'll tell them what I need done, and they do it. I decided that my first successful BGA rework was actually going to be a video. So I put up the camera. That first video you see of the Xiaomao, that's the first time that I took a BGA chip off a board and I put a new one on and it worked. That was the first time. And it's on a video. The point of that video is not to show you that I'm a genius. The point of that video is to show you, well, gee, this jackass who's never done it before, who's a dumbass enough to drop crap on the board and have little things explode off of it, can do it in an hour and 48 minutes while he's filming it and explaining the process. I got to be able to learn this too. I don't want you to think, wow, he knows so much and it took him years to get there. I'm never going to be able to do this, because that's admittedly what a lot of these YouTube videos are. They're dick-waving contests. They're dick-waving contests where they're actually trying to create distance between themselves and you. They're trying to show you that they can do things that you can't and you don't have the ability to get there. And they do that by hiding the process, by editing the process, by leaving things out, and by not talking to you and engaging you as if they were just where you were at one point in time. I'm trying to accomplish the opposite. I want you to come away with this channel knowing I can do the same thing he can. And some of it is through humorous self-depreciation, but some of it is seriously showing you that I have to figure things out just like you. I screw up just like you. I have a messy desk sometimes just like you. I have sad points in my life just like you. I have stress just like you. You should humanize the people you look up to, because when the people that you look up to are right down here, it's real easy to figure out that you can accomplish everything that they have. When I see that somebody who's better than me at all these things fails or is a human in these small parts of their lives, I don't revel in the fact that they failed. I don't revel in the fact that they're miserable, but rather I smile a little bit realizing that they're human just like me and that I have the ability to accomplish everything that they have in life. And I want you to feel the same way. I want you to look at other people who've accomplished more than you and think that the sky's the limit for yourself. That not only can you do what they've done, but you can do what they've done better, faster, more efficient, and that you can do all of this just being who you are.